Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of the Truth Seekers channel. In this video I want to make a connection, a link between the Watchers, the Book of Enoch, this time period with these fallen angels, and ancient Sumerian tablets stories. So I know it's a bit far-fetched and far away, but there is a clear link. And the first one I want to talk about is the amount of watchers. As you can see in the Book of Enoch, they have like 200 watchers. They came down on Ardis, so they came down from heaven. So those who came from heaven to earth, that's the translation of the Anunnaki, or the Anunnaki, which is the summit of Mount Hermon. That's like a mountainous area. Here is it on the picture. Very beautiful, breathtaking mountain area in the Middle East. So you can see it here on the map. It's around that area. So it's really beautiful where they came down, and in the book they came down and they swore and bound one another with curses. So they make like a pact together according to the Book of Enoch. So Enoch is, in my view, like a minister of information. He was working for the extraterrestrial, the aliens, or the Anunnaki as I'm calling them. He was maybe promised eternal life or something, or wealth, and in order to do some work for them, in this case a messenger for their words or for their story. And their story was, in this case, the story of the 200 watchers. But I was talking about the link between the watchers and the Sumerians. DNA, God's Anunnaki creation. So the DNA, God's Anunnaki creation, humanity. And it says, we know, here you can see it, that she was not part of the first party of 50 Niburians who landed on Earth with Enki to look for gold, but that she came with the third or the fourth landing. So there were four landings, and they were talking about 50, a party of 50. So there were like four parties of 50. That will make 200. Exactly the same as in the Book of Enoch, the amount of watchers. He was the head scientist in life sciences, so very smart person in life sciences. So this was like a couple thousands of years ago, and they were this alien race, they already knew how to work with DNA and DNA manipulation and modification. And she came down in the fourth landing, the third or fourth, and her mission was to create the humans. And the humans were like ape-like. This was us before the aliens came, and they made us into the sapiens with DNA modification. I think they put like 3% of their own DNA into our, they mixed it, because that could be a better worker than this ape man, this Homo erectus or the Neanderthaler, because they were not very smart. They lacked the intelligence to be a worker. So that's why they needed to alter the DNA, and they created the humans. So these 200 Niburians, or the 200 watchers, did all kind of experiments and came up with the Adam and Eve the Garden of Eden, where they tested the humans to see if they can follow order and see if they can be manipulated and how. So there was like a lot of experiments in this Garden of Eden. Is like a big laboratory, an area they made, like a virtual reality area to see how the humans were interacting with each other and with the surrounding. And I think the first one of the tests with the apple failed. It was a failure, or it might also be a success, because in that test they found out that the humans can be manipulated, that you can like tell a story. They used this angel Gadriel in the book of Enoch. Let's see, Gadriel, and the name of the third is Gadriel, the third Satan, 696. There were like 5 Satans, and he was the third. And this is the one that showed all the deadly blows to the sons of men, and he led astray Eve. See, his job was to manipulate and lead astray, try to lead astray, make her eat the apple that she was forbidden to eat, to see how she would react. And in that case, she ate the apple, and then they knew the humans could be manipulated. So this was all part of the origination of humankind on Earth, to be a slave laborer for the Niburians. And after this, of course, you had like different types of experiments with animals and the Watchers, or the Niburians, and humans. So there were all kind of strange stuff going on, and eventually they got something that was very usable, and they decided to create this big flood. In Enoch, you call it the deluge, and or the great flood. Also, you have in the Sumerian text, you have also a deluge. So that is also another thing that links both the book of Enoch, or the Enochian time, with the Sumerian tablets. The flood came, and all these experiments were wiped out, giants, and of course they needed scapegoats, and the scapegoat was Azazel. They blame everything on him. They ascribe him all sin. That's what they said in Book of Enoch. Book of Enoch, Azazel went to the underworld. They bound him and threw him in the dark pit. And you have also in the Sumerian mythology also an underworld. So thanks for watching. Let me know what you think, and I see you in the next video.